Global pay card details, CVV, and expiry date. That's it. Show back on. Subscription paid. Couch Life activated. Be like Twambo. Get your global pay card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Ooh. Some kids are just a step ahead. The winning difference? A spoonful of Blue Band. The only one with the right levels of omega-3 and 6. Blue Band. A spoonful of difference.
They say any day above the ground is a blessed day, and we appreciate the fact that we are still breathing and we could be able to interact on issues of national interest. Good morning and welcome to the Thursday edition of Daybreak. And of course, it falls on the 26th of March 2026. And there's so much to look forward to in the course of this particular edition. And of course, we'll be able to interact even on our socials, be it on TikTok, YouTube as well. And I almost said WhatsApp. Maybe we need to go down that particular route as well. Conversations will even be better, perhaps getting your voice notes coming through. I know that, of course, we are living in a very, very social world, and there's so much taking place, and we need to move with the trends and times, which is exactly what Prime Television is all about, because we also have a TikTok platform for you to be able to interact with us. So do the needful, join the, of course, DBF in terms of the conversation. I know we know a number of individuals who are watching from behind the scenes, but we appreciate the fact that you are, of course, sending in your messages on Facebook, and we'll be able to get some Blue Band giveaways today as well. And of course, appreciating the fact that we've been able to have a couple of you come through and of course get your Blue Band product as well. Individuals from Matero, others coming through from Charleston. Keep them coming. And of course, you might not just enjoy the analysis, but you can also enjoy, of course, conversations to do with the Blue Band as well. Of course, my name is John Mark Lukonde, joined by Naomi Msoya and Portia Ngongo in that order. Good morning.
Good morning to you, John Mark. Good morning, Paul, looking smart. Good morning to the dear viewer listener from wherever in the world you're joining us on such a beautiful Thursday morning. We're very excited to be back. It is Friday Junior. Paul, you well?
Perfect. Glad to be here. Good morning, John Mark. Good morning, Naomi. Good morning to the viewers.
Indeed, even with so much to look forward to on the show this particular morning. Still to come, we'll take a look at the papers and, of course, the weather and money markets. And, of course, hear from you. It will not be the People's Show if we do not hear from you. And, of course, a little later on, like John Mark has alluded to, the giveaways. Everybody loves to be a part of the winning team, and you too can be part of that by simply, texting us on our social platform, and of course you will become a winner. You'll be answering very easy questions courtesy of Blue Band. By the way, we actually even do give out the answers. How cool is that? So you want to be here to win Blue Band for yourself, your children, and the entire family this particular morning. Yesterday, the president, of course, did urge farmers to embrace connectivity. We'll be able to speak into that when time allows. Of course, he was speaking at the Sidco National Field Day. But knowing the president, gentlemen, of course, tips of Shibukombe didn't miss. I like today's headline, even from the news diggers. He was basically urging the husbands to provide food for their family, to be together, to be intact. Isn't that the responsibility of husbands after all? That we'll be able to speak into that when we get to check out with what's coming out from the papers and the many stories that you should be here for this particular morning. For now, let's head to check out how the weather and money markets are faring. For most places this morning, it is a Thursday and the morning will be mainly cloudy, slightly windy.
To wow, She could fly to China for new products, but why pick jet lag when you've got the Airtel Money Global Pay Card? No flights, no visas, just browse, pay, done. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your Global Pay Card details, CVV, and expiry date. Simple. Be like Mwamba. Get your Global Pay Card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Meet Mundia. He ditched the 9-to-5 to build his brand. And yeah, he's crushing it. With the Airtel Money Global Pay Card, he's not just buying ad space, he's building hype. He pays for ads the same way he sells most of his shoes. Online, fast, and always on. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your Global Pay Card details, CVV, and expiry date. That's it. The Airtel Money Global Pay Card, that's what keeps it moving. Be like Mundia. Get your Global Pay Card in the Airtel Money section.
Meet Suilanji. Curious, creative, always learning. New skills, global trends, she's in on it. Design or tech, she's exploring the best international options. And with the Airtel Money Global Pay Card, paying is the easy part. One quick tap and she's learning from the best. No stress, no visa, no problem. Even her parents are getting in on it. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your Global Pay Card details, CVV, and expiry date, and that's it. Be like Suilanji. Get your Global Pay Card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
After a long day of spreadsheets, traffic, and people saying circle back, Twambo just wants to stream his favorite show. But of course, his subscription expired. Good thing he's got the Airtel Money Global Pay Card for his global subscriptions. One tap and he's back in business. No panic, no drama. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your Global Pay Card details, CVV, and expiry date. That's it. Show back on. Subscription paid. Couch Life activated. Be like Twambo. Get your Global Pay Card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Some kids are just a step ahead. The winning difference? A spoonful of Blue Band. The only one with the right levels of omega-3 and 6. Blue Band. A spoonful of difference.
The PEP president and, of course, Citizens president yesterday were echoing thoughts that were similar, singing a same song, if you will, in regards to what has even taken place in terms of Kisasa. It was also very, very interesting to listen to, of course, President Harry Kalaba also deliberate on what he feels government should be able to do concerning the recent, of course, accusations of witchcraft and even the killings in terms of the mob justice. We'll be able to touch on those and many, many other issues even as we progress on today's edition. Don't forget to drop a comment and greet the DBF, and even from the onset with our Traffic Watch team, you do well to follow through because it is important to find out about the rules and regulations on the road networks. Paul with the papers.
Yes, just before we get into the tabloids, remember that story, and I'm glad, John Mark, you've highlighted the story about the woman in Colombia who was murdered through mob justice over the weekend. Very unfortunate development, but also news items were picking up through our reporter Jackson Mwansa there are also a bit concerning. So I was hearing that when this woman was being accused of causing the disappearance of that young man's private parts, when the mob wanted to descend on her, she was taken for safety purposes at the palace. Senior Chief Musele, that is right behind the market. Then the chief, these are unconfirmed stories, the chief failed to handle and surrendered her back to the mob.
Of course, which he denied.
which he denied. But I'm bringing this up because the man has fled. So, our reporter, Jackson Mwansa, has filed us a report indicating that Senior Chief Musele of Kalumbila District, Northwestern Province, has abandoned his temporal palace situated behind the infamous Kisasa Market in the aftermath of the savage killing of a Chingola businesswoman by a mob. Speaking to Prime TV News in a telephone interview, the traditional leader who ordered the 60-day shutdown of Kisasa Market following the killing of NLS Helen Kamutumbe says his decision to leave the palace is due to the volatile security situation. Now, the chief is running away. Now, Chief Musele has reiterated that Kisasa Market will remain closed until everyone involved in the lynching is arrested. He has also dismissed as false assertions that the victim was taken to his palace where he chased her, stating that he values human life. He has dismissed that, no, because the report is that they took this woman to the palace for her safety and he chased her. Okay. Meanwhile, Kisasa area remains largely deserted with business activity grounding to a halt as shops remain closed. But let's get a report that our staffer Jackson Mwansa, who visited the area, found in.
Senior Chief Musele of the Lunda-speaking people in Kalumbila district of Northwestern Province has fled his palace with his family, citing security concerns following the mob killing in Kisasa. The senior chief left his palace mid-morning around the time the killing occurred. He described the situation as volatile and dismissed social media claims linking the victim to his palace as false.
When the officers arrived at the scene to rescue the woman, they were all attacked and beaten. Everyone was left with no option, started running, scampering in all direction for safety. And they promised, that means my life is not safe. My life is at stake. So, the allegation of saying I can send someone away, it's not true. People must understand how Senior Chief Musele values the life of a human being. I had some serious developmental engagement outside the province, but decided to turn my steering wheel back to the palace after being informed of the situation.
He added that Kisasa Market will remain closed until those responsible are brought to justice, as sub-chiefs consult on the way forward.
As long as culprits are shielded, culprits are hidden, I don't think if the market will open so soon. I don't think. A market is ready to open, but only when we cooperate.
Mulanga chuma chieneni chinga tushaka mahamu na nganda yetu muneni kulonda na kuhanjika mulanga yetu mesu indi na wachenyi yetu atiyanga nyabo ya wanya netu mwilonga dechi chuma chidumu cha kuyatushaka mahamu na nganda muneni na kushikija kwapa kwa wanyana kuya na kuhansa ngama businesses ana kisiki mashops ma markets.
We understand that yes, it has brought economic impact negatively. Yes, people will be impacted negatively, but it is just a good idea that people should be sensitized in that way so that they stop this criminal violence. And His Royal Highness emphasized that the market will be opened after scrutinizing.
The unrest has disrupted daily life, with families relocating, businesses shut, transport affected, and school attendance at Kisasa Primary School dropping sharply, with only 7 pupils out of nearly 4,000 attending classes. Jackson Mwansa reporting for Prime Television News in Kalumbila district of Northwestern Province.
Thank you so much, Jackson. I know you are really working hard to bring out the details. We do appreciate this latest information you're sharing with us. The schools are actually abandoned. Business communities affected in the area in Kalumbila. People are scared for their lives to the point that even the chief, now if the chief with he has state security can run away, what more kawayawaya chabe?
How safe is that community then?
Right now, it isn't. And also, one of the things, like I stated yesterday, when the issues of mob justice, now so the best is kuchokako, least wakusonte vaboza. Because uzambo chitachane, kuulula uri masels. No snenzeko, prove swenzeko. No, at this point, I was actually at my home sleeping. Prove that you are sleeping at that time. You know, sometimes some things are very difficult. But also, the most concerning part for me are these allegations of the chief. I will show a video before we end the show where the people were at the gate of the traditional leader waiting for the woman to come out. When he says the lady was not taken to his palace, he should really ensure that he's saying the truth. Because if it turns out that truly she was taken, then in Chester, he must be arrested for having participated. It means he participated. It's like you've sent a person to wild dogs. You're supposed to protect. Remember, he has state security with him. So the lady was going to be safe with him. And I'm saying this because it's allegations.
And even on the state security itself, I'm also wanting to talk about the aspect of the security that the traditional leaders also have. Because for some, we've seen them even when they're giving deliberations or even reacting, you could still see that they might have one or two individuals surrounding them. And of course, based on what we know, chiefs are usually, they actually are privileged to have local guards. These often are the trusted villagers, the palace attendees, and sometimes they're referred to as even the indunas. And of course, their role is to control access to the palace, maintain order during gatherings, watch over the chief's residence as well. So do you think that the security of the traditional leaders, even at their palaces, is sufficient?
Yeah, we've not heard of any such, issues of, challenges. I think with security for traditional leaders, most of them now, with the improved conditions actually that is being given to the traditional leaders under the House of Chiefs, they actually have access to state police. You go to Mwata Kazembe, at least I saw that with my own eyes. You go to Mbezeni, I've seen that with my own eyes. They have access to state security. So that really is not a challenge. The challenge then is because it was a mob, and remember that from the statement from the police, Zambia Police Service went on the scene and were chased by the mob. They started attacking the police. So the police were actually overpowered by this mob. So it's not even about the presence of the police, because the police truly went there before this woman died. But you see, also sometimes we need to begin to ask, how efficient is the police? Because if you go there, someone is being beaten to death, protect that life.
So are we saying that the police could not have done anything to ensure that this woman's life was preserved?
They could have done quite a lot, even just firing gunshots in the air. Or tear gas or something. But for you to be overpowered, you even retreat. It's a huge concern, especially that a life has been lost.
And if it comes out that the chief was actually lying, that the lady was not actually brought to his palace, do you think that he will be also hypocritical? Because remember that he came out very, very vocal after he also did announce that the market was going to be closed for 60 days to allow for police investigations to go on as well. And also he also scolded the people for not protecting their fellow community member. So do you think that if at all it comes out that it is true that that lady was actually brought to the palace, he'll be very hypocritical?
And not only that, he will need to be arrested. Yeah. If it turns out, and police should really do their investigations in this matter. As you are arresting those 259 plus more, also investigate these allegations that this woman was actually taken for safety at the palace and the Chief Chester. Investigate that. And also as a police, they should give us a statement in that regard, that we've established our investigations, and we've established that truly the chief is stating the truth.
Not just a blanket statement.
Yeah, they should actually investigate that particular incident alone, because that particular incident of the woman being taken to the palace and her being chased could have prevented the life being lost if truly it happened that way.
What charge would he be given if at all he?
I don't know. There are so many applicable charges that he could be given, but definitely one of them has to be slapped on him.
Why could, if it's true, that is, what would be the reason for him to chase this lady away? Could maybe it be that he was threatened as well?
Yeah, maybe the mob was too much, because the video I saw, they were right at his gate.
If the police were not able to handle them, what more the chief?
Maybe Baditina, but that's not a good decision to throw someone that the mob is hungry to harm. That's the one you throw to. It's not a good decision. Not a good decision at all. At that point, look, ask the police to come with tear gas. This woman is safe in my house, unless they break in. But the video, and I will show that video. So let the police carry out thorough investigations. The fact that he has run away raises more questions than answers, actually.
He speaks into safety purposes.
Why does he think the people would want to harm him? Because of that allegation that he chased the woman. Otherwise, why is he running away? You are running away from a community that, first of all, you have even closed down the market.
Then what does that also say about the community itself? I mean, if it's not safe for the chief, what about the subjects themselves?
Exactly. If the chief who has access to security is running away, where does it leave the ordinary Zambians that are there? It's a sorry sight. We have civil servants there. No wonder even the schools, the teachers have run away. No wonder even the schools are not operational. Government buildings, businesses, shops are closed. That is not right. And before we end the show, we'll also try to just get the latest as of this morning, and we'll try to speak to Jackson Mansa, live on this show, just to get latest updates in terms of the situation there, and also these issues of allegations of the chief, chasing this woman. I truly hope that it is just an accusation.
Of course, the woman was buried yesterday, Paul. Her burial did come with a bit of, some wrangles, of course, on the final resting place. Family, her children and husband wanted her to be buried in Chingola, but the other family members, of course, in Northwestern Province, where she was laid.
Yeah, I know that you brought issue. That's why, we should be very, very serious when it comes to issues of marriage, because the allegation here is that the man had not paid bride price. Men, can we really be serious? You buy shoes on credit, you buy phone on credit, even a wife you want to marry on credit.
Why were you actually even getting angry when you're tipped to provide food? Others don't actually provide food. If you can't finish off the bride price, then you can't provide.
And we only see these things
when someone passes away.
Yes, during funerals. That Tawapwisha, you're staying with someone. Pankongole. You know where I'm coming from, my church. You have to prove that you're finished paying. If you have not finished, they will not conduct a wedding. Oh. I think everyone should come to my church.
Which one is your church?
Because what is this? It's embarrassing actually for these issues now to come out. No, after they only had one child together. It's stemming from there.
But we should also speak to maybe the reasons why that also happens, because you find that if you find out from majority of the individuals who've got that scenario, you find that their wedding, they might have even ordered horses. Their wedding might have been in a luxurious place, invited 200 individuals, and yet you find out that they did not even finish off the bride price. Doesn't marry.
Yes, because they're trying to balance, expenses.
But with others, this has been maybe even after 20, 15 years. Yeah. What balance are you trying to?
The issue is that once akakwatira my guys, I'm very or less like why should I pay? In fact, nisunga na mfana wako. In fact, amai wako ni wasunga
pa maybe have 2 children after.
That just
you want wasunga. So put in repeat. No, truly, people would feel lazy because of these circumstances. You're taking care of her, taking care of her sister, taking care of the children she came with. You're even taking them to school. then she'll feel guilty to even ask, like, Sidizani. You know, that's why it's important at the point, you know, in negotiation, you negotiate at the point of entry. It's the best time to negotiate, not after you've entered. The point of entry, it's the best time to negotiate. If they tell you, John Mark, you ever go to any interview, any job, in the free tip, you know, and they tell you, okay, for now, start on this salary, later on we'll discuss. It's a lie. Later on never comes once you enter Bwana. HR people will not like me, but that's the truth. So even marriage, you know, at a point, ladies, ensure that he has paid, because pajamanja ainachira kafuno kwatira. You know, the desire is there. So pin him at that point to finish paying.
Afterwards,
Bwana ni mai mwene. You know, so very unfortunate what's happening really in Kalumbila. Cholwe Moya says, I think government should enforce army officers before this situation gets out of hand. It's actually already out of hand, and the flee of the chief is actually questionable. I actually agree with the fleeing of the chief for me. Why are you running away? Are you guilty, sir?
What does that also say about leadership ethics? Because as far as I know, if you're a leader, you are going to be judged based on how you respond to your subjects, especially at the point when things are very, very tight. We've talked about the same scenario similarly with the members of parliament. You find that a number of them, whenever the people are suffering, they will not even be in their constituency, but they will be in the capital, of course, doing other things, and then they want to show up. We've seen a number of them even chased because of that as well. What does that say about the caliber of leaders that we have, where you are running away when the people need you the most?
Yeah, it's actually cowardice. You're being a coward, Bwana, when you're running away from the fire as a leader.
Kunda, yesterday, I know a little different, but just an example of somebody who may have erred, with that puppy who was very, very, disrespectful to the teachers. Spoken to how they will not even just, throw him out, because they want to embrace him. So those who deserve love actually need it the most. The chief shouldn't have run away.
The chief shouldn't have run away.
Maybe he's not running away.
No, he's running away because of security matters. That's what he was telling Jackson on that phone interview. I'll be back, just temporal. But the market remains closed. You are giving orders, but you run away. He's trying to be like that president from, one of the countries one of the African countries who has been ruling while he's living in France. He gives orders, runs the country while he's living in a different country. One of the longest serving presidents on this continent. Very unfortunate. Joseph Daka says, poor Nakula and fit to be Shibukombe.
Oh. With the tips that he gives out.
And out of curiosity, I also wanted to get your take. I know I asked the bishop this, but I wanted to get your take as well concerning the sister of the lady who was, of course, killed by the mob. She mentioned a very strange statement. She says that she was appealing to government to say, I'm asking if you could be able to help me because I don't have a job. My husband is also not working. So I found that to be a bit strange because, how do you use that particular platform to appeal to government to help you? Do you think that was in order?
I haven't seen it. The sister to the deceased. She was asking for help.
Not the sister. Should be the daughter. I think it's the
sister.
Daughter.
It's the sister. Yes.
Oh, I didn't pick
asking
it up.
for help.
Ask the government to help her get a job because the husband is also not working and she has nowhere to put her hand, according to her.
Quite strange timing. She knows that attention is on the family, so it's maximizing opportunities. All eyes are on that family right now.
But shouldn't the message be to maybe get the ones who have been in charge of harming her, like the culprits, should be brought to book, unlike you asking for help?
Timing apo yakanako, so quite sad. Goodson is saying something in the comment. Goodson Mboz, he says, 99.99% of men have not yet finished paying. It's unfortunate. Maybe if you're not yet finished. May I pay 100% one, otherwise.
That statistic is worrying.
99.99.
But either way, it's still saying 100% because we'll round off.
Yeah. It's not true. There are men that have paid. There are men that pay. You know, I have a friend of mine who was about to marry, and I'm emceeing his wedding next month. He was telling me when he was charged, 30,000, he paid cash at once. I told him culturally you shouldn't pay everything at once.
You see, that's where the problem is. Again, when
even
you
if you have
say
the money,
culturally, don't pay everything at once. People will not finish paying.
No, when you're charged first day you go. Don't pay everything at once, John Mark.
Why?
Pay. It's a sign of pride culturally. Like, pay something, even if you have all the money, pay something. Then later on, maybe after a month or two, go and finish it off. Not by paying 30 pin.
I wish the same would be applied for rentals.
So there are men out there that are actually paying, that have paid, but there are quite a number who are married with 4 or 3 children and are still owing. Men out there still owing. We are appealing to you this morning. The way we appeal to governments to improve, we are also appealing to you to improve, Bwana.
Please.
Go and finish paying, because Nkani is Ankala Pamadiru.
And you don't see that coming.
Yeah. I
wonder why in Africa that's the case. You find that that's where issues like debt come out. That's why you find that maybe you find out that the husband had 3 other kids in another family. Why is that the case?
Yeah, it's life, Bwana. It's life. Percy says he completed a payment prior to his marriage. Congratulations, Percy. You're encouraging John Mark to also pay on time and finish before the wedding. Sweetstan, before we get into the tabloids, Sweetstan says, good morning, John Mark, Naomi, Paul, and Daybreak followers. This situation is getting worse. Paul, each time you mention about marriage, take a good look at John. You will see what I normally see. Our brother needs help. I don't know what you mean. John Mark.
Okay, maybe we should pay attention to John Mark's facial expressions. Sweetstan speaks of that all the time. What does he say?
I think he needs blue band. We're going to give you blue band today, don't worry.
Yeah, but one day I can be shocked. I guess I'm a ring. Papa no.
Maninki. I can see things happening in the background.
Like, I don't announce your moves, just shock them.
Just show up.
Yeah, just show up. So we will follow up this story, and before we end the show, we also attempt to, we'll speak to our staffer in Kalumbila, Jackson Mwansa, just to get a bit of updates in terms of that particular story. Otherwise, quite unfortunate. Venasio, please go and pay. He says he's still owing them. Go and pay, Venasio.
So people are responding to what I had mentioned to say. Percy Chama says she claims to be the firstborn, not the sister. And then Ivan Skel says, after, or rather asking for employment when the family is grieving is equivalent to accepting money for your loss of your relative. That's a bad thing. Rachel on the other hand says, good morning, Debra family. I saw that clip which Mark is talking about the lady asking the government to help her with the job. I think that was wrong for her to do that.
So she's saying she's what? The firstborn?
Yes.
Not the sister? Okay.
That's actually what I also picked, I think.
It's a wrong platform, wrong time.
The timing is wrong.
No, it's wrong.
And she says she's married also.
Yeah. Very unfortunate, but let's get to the tabloids this morning. We'll let you know some of the leading stories in today's papers. Let's begin with the diggers that Naomi did talk about. We have an interesting headline, and I have a few things to say on that, like always.
Let's get into it.
HH, you see this on your screen. HH tips husbands, provide food for your families if you want a stable marriage. Meaning, if you don't provide food, you will not have a stable marriage. Meaning, stability in marriage is tied to your provision. As a matter of fact, they say that to enjoy romance in marriage, you must finance the romance. It will not just come by words and grammar, phonetics that you studied in school. After the phonetics, after the semantics.
At love can't keep you warm in the winter.
Yeah. Nalu sang a song some time back. House, money, car. They finished the lyrics, So the president is right to some extent that as men, you must provide food for families. As a matter of fact, the scriptures, indicates in the book of Timothy that any man that fails to provide for his household is worse than an infidel, worse than a non-believer. You are worse than a drunkard on the streets. You are worse than a witch or wizard. You are worse. If you, with your necktie, good grammar, are failing to provide for your family, you are worse. So the president is simply re-echoing something that has been already stated in the scriptures. Sometimes a fact we forget, that it is our responsibility as men. You are the providers. You are the main provider in the house. You are supposed to lead financially.
But someone was speaking into how even when you provide the food, you provide the basic necessities, some women will still maybe, first of all, cheat on you, just, maybe walk away from the family, even with your provision intact.
Yeah, because that's not the only thing that sustains a marriage, really. Look at that woman in the papers yesterday, from Material Court. You are the one that shared a woman that has divorced her husband because he sleeps with clothes on in the night. She's telling you something that she doesn't want to say directly. That I don't care how much food we have in the house. I don't want him to be with clothes in the night. So that's another component. I don't want to be direct. I think you.
It's okay, I just want to eat and give me the money.
So there are many other components that sustain a marriage, but I want to emphasize one aspect here for the sake of balance and just putting things in the right perspective. Men, yes, we agree with the Republican president. Mr. President, thank you for reminding us that it's our responsibility, and without provision coming from us, our marriages will not be stable. We appreciate that aspect, but must I also bring a different perspective that women also are not supposed to be receivers only. Just because we are the providers, they are the receivers. Kupokerela fie. The way the opposite of that song, ukupela kwaliwama, ukuchira kupokerera. So other women, they change ukupokerera kwaliwama, ukuchira ukupela. Now, I want to draw your attention. We talk about Proverbs 31 woman. Proverbs 31 woman. You've heard of these Proverbs 31 woman.
That's their favorite script.
There's a part they don't understand.
Which one is that now?
Directors, please help me project this in this morning. Allow me to.
Feels like church this morning, John Mark, in this place.
Spiro what?
Spiro. Thank you, Director. This is Proverbs 31. Let's begin, feel like I'm preaching this morning.
Hallelujah, church.
Bring the offering.
Look at verse 14. Talking about, verse 10 says, a wife of noble character, who can find? She's worth more than rubies.
That is the one that is quoted mostly when we're getting married.
Yes. But look at, verse 14. She says, she's like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still night. She provides what there, John Mark?
Food.
Food for who? Her family.
Not just her husband.
Her family. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. She even has servants, and so she's the one.
She has extra
to
give out.
Now look at this. Look at 16. She considers, and Director, leave it there, please. She considers a field and buys it. Not that she tells the husband, "Oh, kuliko kalandi kwa." She considers. And she buys it herself.
At 50 by 10.
Kuliko 50 by 20. She considers a field and buys it out of what? Her earnings. She even plants a vineyard. Out of her earnings, she's earning something.
Is this one found in Zambia?
Where are you guys living?
Look at verse 17. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task. She's working. She sees, look at verse 18, Oh, maybe others will say, but me, I don't like working. Look at verse 18. She sees that her trading is profitable, so she's an entrepreneur. Her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand, she holds a distaff, grasps the spindle with her fingers. She even gives out to the needy. This is a woman that verse 23 now says her husband is respected at the city gate when he takes his seat among the elders, because he knows that I also have a wife that is not a receiver.
So when you ask Kuti, what are you bringing on the table? That is what she brings.
That is what.
Others will tell you, I'm just bringing Bele.
Bringing what, John?
Bele, I repeat. That's what they say.
So, Mr. President, maybe we should also emphasize Proverbs 31 down, that these women also, issues of housewife is not in the Bible. Show me a portion in the scripture that encourages women to be housewife.
Helps.
No, housewife.
House managers.
House manager, call it
That's
whatever.
what it's called.
Show me, John Mark, you are a spiritual man. Show me a scripture that encourages that in the Bible. You will not find it. I've shown you a scripture that encourages women to even consider land and even buy it using their own earnings.
Then at what point did things change? Did the wives stop becoming this type of Proverbs 31 woman? And why is it that they only focus on the part where she's prudent and all of those things?
A number of
things didn't change. Like the president is reminding you, women just need to be reminded. I don't think they have really forgotten what their role is.
No, a number of them have forgotten.
They haven't forgotten what their role is. Sometimes you just need to be reminded. And I guess the bigger message was on the mandate, which is on the men, right? Because you are the head, you provide leadership. So don't lose that. The women already know what they are supposed to do.
And Naomi, when the president is asking the men to provide food for their families if they want a stable marriage, is that indirectly saying that women do not have the capacity to be with a man if at all he's not in the state of providing? And we know how life is. There are times when you might lose your job. You might be unemployed for 5 years, 10 years. We know people who went to UNZA and they're not employed. We know a number of people who, when they're married, they're starting out quite well. But you find that maybe they are involved in an accident, and for the rest of their lives, they are living as dependents, so to say, based on the state that they have. So in that state, where does a woman come in?
Stability will only be able to, to be there in place if a man is able to provide. I think Paul has been also very consistent with speaking into how life will always, be life, and, things will happen. The men will have good jobs. Sometimes you lose the jobs. Maybe you get sick. Anything can happen, right? But we also know that you shouldn't be down for a very long time. And because provision has not been something that is on a woman's agenda or is like in women to be able to do that consistently.
When you say you must not be done for a long time, I give an illustration of if maybe you're involved in an accident and you're unable to work for the rest of your life. In that case?
In that case, but what were you doing before then?
Let's say he was providing and he was okay.
What were you doing? Don't you have savings, or is there something that you could still do in that state?
In an event that he has no savings.
Because disability is not an inability. I feel like men could still be able to do something. So bottom line is, yes, there are women who would stay with you for many, many, many years, but others also will not be able to actually get to be with you if you have not been providing for a very long time. So again, whatever you do as men, don't just be down for a long time. And also, even in your low moments, what are you still able to do? I've seen women who are working, they earn more than their husbands. Of course, there's a conversations for another day. We hear that men are not respected in these homes when the woman, earns higher, but others actually, give the men the respect. So you find that the woman has been out the whole day, she's working, and maybe you've lost the job, you're home. Abuela, she's very tired from the office. To help prepare, whatever it is that could be cooked. Others will not even be able to just do the little things at home. We're not asking you to be able to bath the children or sweep the house, but what are you doing? Change the diapers. Just be helpful, be useful.
Joyce Moore says, don't marry if you can't provide for your family. Full stop. Joyce Moore, you didn't hear Proverbs 31 that you are supposed to also buy land, you're supposed to work and also have servants. You didn't hear that part, Joyce Moore? That you also have to work, Joyce Moore, or trade Why are you neglecting that portion of the scripture that encourages women to also be entrepreneur? You know, the president said the other time that entrepreneurship is not a sin. You know, so that's one of the things we need to encourage. You know, like you are from saying, Naomi, very true things happen. You know, people die. You know, for example,
Vinesha says, "I'm still owing them." The statement on the other says some of the reasons why men don't finish their dowry is it's actually so high. The charges are so high. They pay something and promise to finish later. What's your take on overcharging?
I've never fancied the idea of commercializing these things, because look, we are not selling. A woman is priceless, bwana. Even if you charge me 100,000, that is not her worth. She's priceless.
Far more worth than Ruben.
Yeah. Do you think Naomi is worth 5 million right now? Not at all, Naomi.
Absolutely.
No.
No amount of money.
Not even the amount we put in the national budget is worth Naomi right now. Huh? Our soul is so precious. God had to send his own son to die for us. That's how precious we are. So there's no amount, there's no price tag. So that's why it is wrong to begin to commercialize. No dampunzisa, no anaenda kuunza uyu. It is wrong, and you put these men under unnecessary pressure, where sometimes now even your own family to come and visit, if you're agitated, like, look at how much I spent just to have you. Even the agitation just begins to, you know, and that's why parents, let's, you know, I know that it's you know, Friday Junior or something, but you know, it's not a Friday edition,
right?
You know, but please, parents, let's also learn not to, you know, price these things too high.
What is too high?
Look at the social income, the income of the man. No wonder they even ask abomba kwisa. And ideally, you're even supposed to ask the lady, your own daughter.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, like, okay,
is he able to pay this amount?
15 pin. And the lady will tell you the truth because she knows the man. It's okay. Yes, like, oh, marry account yourself. If you're going to be charging that high. So parents out there, please, let's Kingsman says, prime crew, very welcoming and social, enjoying the show. Otherwise, as men, let's normalize marrying when we are much stable.
Joseph Daka says, Paulo, are you a man in a white collar? And then he says, John, a lion is a lion even in its old age. What does that mean?
And I think maybe he's referring to where you're incapacitated as a man.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah. So you're still a man, like Nami said. You know, disability is not inability. I've seen people that are, you know, differently able but are still, you know, making ends meet. I told one man in the streets one day, he had one of his arm wasn't okay, and he was begging, very energetic. I said, he then insulted me. From that day, I stopped giving people on the street money.
Wow.
Yeah, insulted me for refusing to give him, because I was encouraging him to go and work. Because I've seen people, you know, now they're even reducing. We are encouraging laziness. Able-bodied men asking for help. For what? When there's work that you can give them. Give them work.
But does that mean that we can't help when people are down and low?
That's not being down, that is being lazy. Able-bodied. And then mukombe miganda. And then musuke mamoto kamakaosh. And there's always something to do. But laziness is the one. So please. Women, I think you've heard the message. We don't want to overemphasize this aspect. Mr. President, maybe next time you have an opportunity to speak to the nation, balance that the women also should know. Because look, one of the things that causes men to stress and even have a BP is pressure, manganda. Even sotfie, they are waiting for you.
Soda
bwana John Mark. Soda ya mwokra. Bale kulolela ati soda. No, because you are the helper. So what are you helping me with if everything I'm doing it alone?
It's helping you to cook.
No, that's
But
not.
also, we do.
What? There are men that even cook better than women.
Absolutely. We do know that other men actually even stop their women from working for maybe many reasons, out of jealousy. Swafuna, no, just be here. I'll be able to provide everything for you.
You are killing your mind. You're killing your mind. Your mind needs activity. So start a business, do business. If your husband's able to do everything, well and good, even better.
I would be bored and actually even give you more heart attack.
Yeah, it's important that the mind is activated. So men, also encourage your women to do something. Push them to do something. Even if it's not paying well. But for as long as the mind is engaged, very important. Women also feel a bit ashamed that everything at died by our kwacha 50 ngwe or tu kwacha mwembekeza watake junior babwele bagule. That's why when they knock off, they don't go straight home.
Where do they go?
Why don't you relax? Why you stress? Akafika chepa nyumba zamvira announcements. Oh, soda paribe. Oh, sugar yanasira mairo. Oh, unga usira mairo.
Just the way you communicate. It's just the lack of paribe chan. You can't even talk to your man.
My mathematics teacher in grade 10 used to encourage ladies that please work hard so that you don't become announcers. You know, announcers, TV announcers.
Of course.
Work hard. Your job is to announce. Oh, cooking oil na ipwa. No, umulembo tapali. No abane sapato na shipwa. That is your job. Is that the job of a helper? No. So women also try to rise up. It's a challenge to you because you are happy with that headline from the president, but we need to balance it. That also don't. That's why you find men. You know, I love Kalindula music too much. There's a song. Echo tufuira fueba ume pano pachalo. Echo tufuira. Pressure, bwana. Pressure. You find in most of these homes, you know, if you're going to rent a house, probability is that the landlord is a female. It's a landlady. Ask the husband, he died. Ask the husband, he died. Well, kufa fast because of my pressure. The life expectancy of men and women is different. Why? Too much pressure. Instead of being a blessing, you know, she's actually being a burden. Women, I hope I am communicating something useful this morning.
That scripture we saw. It doesn't get you to work. I don't know what will.
Look, John Mark, don't you think you enjoy a moment where you get home and just find your wife has bought you a new suit? Like, oh, I saw this suit as I was coming from work. I think it looked good on you on daybreak. Don't you think you feel good? You get home and say, look, I've seen the phone you're using. I decided to get you a new phone. This is the latest, iPhone. You feel proud, and that's what the Proverbs says. Now we are respected, even when you sit among his elders.
Feel you're still stuck somewhere. Like I got you.
Yeah, feel you're still a first person, babe. Can you just send me a 500 kwacha? Gas your seat. Okay. Don't worry, babe.
Kati
XN. Marriage even cannot be like that. Not so mommy, you understand these things. Right?
Oh wow. Let's move on already.
Before we move on, there's also a complaint that we've been able to hear within the communities. Others will tell you that women will also complain that the moment they get married, the man also stifles their ambition. Maybe she wanted to go as far as maybe getting a master's, and maybe because of the family setting, they are just focusing on maybe the man in terms of maybe his personal agenda for his academics, only helping his side as well. But in the aspect of instilling that the lady is also supported, if she wanted to start a business, be it a bakery and whatnot, it seems like their agenda is also put on the shelf for the sake of the family, for the sake of the man.
Yeah, that's why I think last time we did encourage that grow together, let there be no much difference between the two of you. If you have a master's degree, at least let your spouse have a degree or be working towards also getting a master's. There shouldn't be so much disparity. Remember, we talk about compatibility. That's very key in marriage. When I have a challenge, I should be able to get to my spouse and ask, look, I think I'm failing to analyze, this matter, or maybe I have this assignment. What do you think? My wife is one that does homework for my boys. Because at least I married a smart one, so I don't struggle much, with those things. I don't do their homework. She helps them. But imagine uza shati ukapeleka kule wamai wao wabana kubova nebaziba kumankala koche certain concern that you have. Yes, you love this woman, but also you want her to help you. You also want to have proper conversation. So grow together.
Let's speak to the men even before we close off on those, like John Mark has said, that just want you to walk in their vision. Quite all right, when we marry you, maybe we're marrying into your visions also, but how should the men also be able to say, yes, you are also an individual, even though we are one, and then you should be able to advance towards the same goal?
Yeah, look, she has her own aspirations. You have your own aspirations. And one of the things you do is help each other, build each other, help each other to grow professionally, whether it's business-wise. That is and it makes marriage actually quite sweet. You see, sometimes people post on Facebook, couple goes graduating on the same day. That is actually sweet. Why can't you do the same? Do business, start a business for your spouse. One of my friends during Women's Day, she decided that, look, I'm a woman and I've become a woman like this because of you. She bought 4 tires for her husband on Women's Day. She bought tires for the
on Women's Day.
On Women's Day, when she's supposed to receive. She said, look, I'm who I am because you've contributed to my growth as a woman, and as a way of appreciating 4 new tires for a Mercedes-Benz. Oh, that's not cheap. That's not cheap.
Because the man actually invested in her.
So that
can we help build each other?
Let's build each other. Percy says he can't handle a housewife.
Okay.
There are men that actually can handle.
Right.
But we should not encourage laziness. Be a housewife that maybe is entrepreneur. Because
then again, not everyone is meant for the office, right? For the office space.
Yeah, so please. Jonathan Piri says, nice moments today. I like your smiles. Maybe we should stop talking politics.
People are smiling with social issues.
Yeah, maybe Joyce Mo, what do you think?
Courtesy of the president.
For the first time he's commenting.
PMC says, following the conversation. Women, yes, women, don't be housewives where all you do, and you see, kuyamba na kumankala tap
maningi
mind mulibe vili vonse maningi so against she iwe last time 2 months ago munayanga kuchitava so 2 months ago mwezo kama na jenu jawa kudala why? Because a mind is there's nothing, no activity. Remember that saying that
an idle mind
is a devil's workshop.
Absolutely.
So but unga busy so anakuona tikasa anafaka na password before.
Yes, okay, at least you can put, but let me know what that is.
But uliche free so hapa mkamba na bandani so hapa mlikuti mbona time bwanji
dana
kutumia phone zo tuma inze busy boss, it's not a police charge.
Listen to Bernard. They says some men are not serious about raising the status of their wives to an extent of being jealous of their success.
Yeah, because it also depends on the attitude
of whom,
of either way, both parties, men or women. So there are some people that they want to prove a point that they are higher than you. Even men, there are men like that.
There are couples who can compete amongst themselves.
Yes, there are people like that, John Mark, who would compete. I want to get a degree to show you that I can actually get a degree more than you.
And that's your partner.
That's toxic.
Yeah, people are toxic.
Very toxic.
Not just marriages, even in relationships.
Right.
I don't know what you are doing in a toxic relationship. In marriage, stay there. But in so, just a clarification. Joyce, I'm not against. Someone was saying that look, it's a duty of a man to provide. Joyce says which Paul is against. He expects wives to provide too. It's not Paul. We read the Bible. Joyce Mo, argue with the Bible. We saw that, right?
We did.
That they are also expected, right?
They're also expected, not that it's like entirely mandated on them, but they're expected. Definitely. So,
Joyce Mo, you might want to argue with the scriptures and not Paul. It's not Paul. Paul was just reading the scriptures this morning. I think this is what we should be concentrating more on. My politics how much that divide my politics. But maybe let's get back to politics, I think, and cause some fire. Right. Ivan says, John Mark, my brother, marry a woman who works, not a goalkeeper.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
terminologies this morning.
It's a bad way of.
What does a goalkeeper do?
A goalkeeper, careful, goalkeeper is better than a striker.
Goalkeepers are also important, actually.
You actually need the goalkeeper.
Yeah. You need the goalkeeper.
You can't win without a goalkeeper.
You know, but in the literal sense, it means someone that's just there, receiving. Them, it's just to receive the ball. You just receive the money. Receive the money. They are not contributing anything. Buana. At this point, I think women, we love what you do, but I think please take this challenge with a pure heart, that it feels nice, and we're telling you from a male perspective, it feels very nice to also receive something from you. You know, where you tell your husband, okay, look, I've seen that you're in school and you have pressure. I think for the next 3 months, about rentals, don't worry. I'll handle them. You don't know what you're doing.
And in this economy, is it possible to be with someone who is a goalkeeper? We've seen the cost of living it keeps soaring.
Very possible, John Mark. Go in the compound.
What are some of the effects of having a goalkeeper?
To go for fast.
Because everything is on your head.
Everything is on your head. And in this economy, John Mark, imagine fiance on your head. Can you survive? Even if you are well paid, can you survive?
You can't.
No. So it's let's complement each other. You know, men, women, let's complement each other. It's very important. Those that are still single, have these conversations with your would-be partners. That don't say your money is our money, my money is my money. You're being selfish. That's a wrong mentality. Your money is also the family money, because there are women that work and they don't contribute nothing in the home. They take their money where they want to take it, but not panganda. It's a job.
They're probably buying land. Remember the scripture we saw there?
If it's land for the family, why not? But we've heard of women that are building without even the knowledge of their husbands. You're busy building for your mother as a woman without even your husband knowing.
The way you men build for your mothers, and we don't know.
It's not tit for tat. But yeah, it's 8:43, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to more stories. PMC says culture always tells women a man should provide. So we need to change the mindset, definitely. That yes, men are to provide, but also we love it when you contribute. No wonder you are a helper. I think that's, if I'm going to carry this table, I can't ask a baby to come and help me carry, because the baby has no capacity to help me carry.
Just don't forget what your mandate is. Even as we're helping, there must be something that we're helping on. Other men just stay back and do nothing for their families.
No, that's not the case now, me. But yeah, that's a leading story in The Diggers. Another story you'll find in The Diggers: Zicta shuts down 4 Copperbelt radio stations. So this actually is a temporal shutting down. PS Tabokawana, Minister of Information and Media, did make a clarification that this is not done under the Independent Broadcasting Authority, IBA Act. This is done under Zicta because these radio stations were interfering with some state like airports, military bases, and once they rectify their frequencies, they will be allowed back on air. So that so it's not like you are Vala the way it used to be done back in the PF regime, where they would close you because you're speaking against them or something like that. So that clarification is very important. Sad that they haven't named these stations. I think it was going to be important for these stations to be named. Government to lift night travel ban to support 24-hour economy. Police detain and caution Makitu. Yesterday we did see Makitu posting that have been arrested in Chingola. Later on he released a statement where he said that he had a meeting at a lodge with ex-miners who are yet to receive their pension. And he was hearing them out. Just had a meeting with them just to hear their concerns. And the police asked him to escort them at the station, detained him briefly for interrogations, and later released him. And he says, look, what wrong did I commit to meeting people? Maybe what Mulaza Kaira needs to know is that we have laws in this country that guide how public gatherings must be held. You cannot have, because he shared the pictures on his page, the meeting he had. It was like a mini conference in a lodge. If you are going to have those number of people, Makitu, Mulaza, you need to inform the police. It is in the laws. Sometimes politicians want to paint a bad picture on the government, even when they are deliberately violating the laws. If you was meeting 10 people, I think I would not have a problem. But if you saw the pictures, it was some good crowd in a lodge. What is that meeting about? Even in our churches, when we want to have an overnight, we have to inform the police.
Even in our communities, when we want to have a party,
yes,
we inform the police.
We inform the police. Even when it's a noble cause, we want to pray for the nation all night at our church. Noble cause.
You want to pray for the nation at Hero Stadium?
Yes. Remember what happened to Sunday Sinyango at Hero Stadium? You need to inform the police so that security measures or precautions are taken. So, he should not cry foul. No.
What does that also say about his advisors? Because it's not the first time that in a short space of time he's abrogated the laws. We'll remember in terms of the school which he went to, and he donated books branded with his face as well, and it was presumed to be an attempt to campaign indirectly as well. So what does that also say about his circle in terms of advising?
I have no problem with the books distribution. The UPND people do it. Even Chombo and Kanyama does the same.
Does that make it right?
No, I don't see anything wrong. If I'm going to donate, I saw a bus, donated by one of the pastors to a radio station. It is indicated. How did I know? The bus is branded, the name of the radio station. But when I was driving behind it, I saw donated by Pastor Chakoti. It's also indicated. You should know where the books are coming from. If I'm going to donate something at the hospital, I'm going to donate blankets. Don't stop me from putting donated by Poshingongo. There's no law that stops that. So the issue of the books, for me, I don't see anything wrong.
But the Ministry of Education released a statement condemning that.
They never condemned when Achombwe. Don't you see a bit of hypocrisy there? You don't see that? What applies to you should apply to me if I'm doing the same thing. So for me, I would not see anything wrong. If I'm going to donate a bus to a school and I put donated by Poshingongo, I want you to know that this bus came from me. The school didn't buy the bus themselves. If I'm going to renovate a police station, I'll put a placard somewhere, renovated by Poshing. You should know. And most people do it when you're donating things anyway. So there, I didn't see anything wrong. But yesterday's event, I see something wrong because it was a crowd and there's a public order act that guides us to notify the police when we're going to have a large gathering for our own security. Especially Chingola, we know what's been happening in Chingola. It's a hot spot till date. Just last week, another man was almost lynched for being accused of causing the disappearance of people's private parts.
Will he do better going forward now that he knows what is supposed to be done with regards to our laws and public gathering?
If he decides to be sober as a politician, but if he wants to politic, I don't think he'll do any better. If he wants to politic, from the post, I could see that he's politicking from the post. So, you want to go to parliament to make the laws. I don't think you will be one of those people that want to be breaking the same laws you want to go and be making. That's not right. So please, if you are going to meet 10-15 people, there I think there will be no problem. But you are going to meet that large crowd that I saw, and you did well to even post those crowds on your page. Bwana, let's notify the police. So that's very important. Lubinda Makebi Konfa, after PF convention. Criminals don't sleep. We must act fast on illicit funds. That's another story you'll find in the Diggers. In the Mass newspaper, I'm ready to step back. I can allow any other person if they can win, says Kalaba. Kalaba is really, maybe he has seen that it's very popular sana. Or maybe has known that I think this time unity is of paramount importance. So that's what is coming in from Harry Calabar. 800 patients treated for TB at UTH, according to official statement. We did have that conversation yesterday with the Provincial Health Office on issues to do with tuberculosis. A report minister to SCC says Binwa Mpundu, Kalumbila killing, sheer madness, according to Mazimawe. Things falling apart under UPND, according to Godfrida Smiley. I'm sure she read Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart. And, she says things are actually falling.
We've been hearing from her from the, couple of days.
Yeah. In the Real Times, there's a very sad leading story. You see that on your screen. Teacher's arrest sparks outrage following a viral video showing a 15-year-old pupil hurling vulgar insults at the staff. There's some development over that story, by the way. 5 teachers. You remember that story of a 15-year-old? I think you've spoken about that story. 5 teachers arrested in Senanga for assault on a child. So the Zambia Police Service in Senanga wishes to update the public on the case of assault on a child earlier reported. The matter was initially reported on the 19th of March and is alleged to have occurred on the 16th of March around 12 hours at Senanga Day Secondary School. The report was made by Mr. Lungowe Moka, age 51, of Mwanambini East Plots in Chief Ndupu's area, Senanga District, on behalf of his son, 15, of the same residence. It is alleged that the juvenile was assaulted by 5 known teachers at the said school. They've named the 5 teachers. Top on the list is the head teacher. The victim is reported to have sustained injuries, including a painful neck, pain on the left side of the ribs, backache, and general body pains. The assault is alleged to have involved the use of fists and slaps. Police investigations have since led to the arrest and formal charging of all the 5 suspects for the offense of assault on a child, contrary to Section 248A of the Penal Code of the Laws of Zambia. The suspects have since been released on police bond and are expected to appear before court soon. The police wishes to strongly caution members of the public, particularly those entrusted with the care of children, to uphold the rights and welfare of minors at all times. Any form of violence against children is a serious offense and will be dealt with firmly in accordance with the law. Signed by Rea Monga, this time not as Zambia Police spokesperson, but as Commissioner of Police for Western Province Police Division. I am worried, Naomi and John Mark, extremely worried that, first of all, 2 sides. When we send children to school, we are envisioning an idea where the teachers are parents to our children. So in our absence, my 2-year-old is in school right now. In my view, I am confident right now that he's not being harmed. No. I'm confident that that is another parent taking care of my child. I don't want to begin to think that my child is being beaten at school. No. So no parent out there wants to ever imagine that natuma mwana ku school my teachers bamumenya slapping the no. So teachers, please, we know that there's an aspect of discipline that is required to be enforced in schools. That is not your primary assignment. Your primary assignment is to teach. When the child errors, follow the disciplinary code. Every institution, at least we know the disciplinary code in public service. Don't take the law in your hands. We're talking about mob justice. where you begin to beat the child. No, we don't want to think our children are being beaten. So that has to be emphasized.
And the Children's Code Act 2022 in Zambia is basically a comprehensive law, Paul, that consolidates children's rights, as you've rightly put it. Defining child, who is a child? Child is anyone under 18. It protects child marriages, sexual exploitation, and of course corporal punishment, which you're speaking into. How then could the teachers be able to draw the line between corporal punishment and of course maybe discipline?
I'm coming to that, and look, it's a two-sided conversation. Parents are not allowed to beat children. Those days are gone where corporal punishment was allowed in schools. Mashamboko, pindamuka, whoop, whoop, yozovala mashort kudala. Na shamboko nishitwa zizila.
Or the dusters.
Yes, or dusters in Twiro. My Mrs. Chela used to call them Twiro. Says, come, and how she used to make money, because she's late, so blessed memory now. She used to say that if you are found on noisemakers, we either beat you with a duster or you pay 150. 150 kudala. Ija 150 kudala. And we would pay. She was, I think it was wrong to be paying her. But those days, Bwana, are gone, where parents would get to hosepipe, or the teachers would get hosepipe and begin to beat children, sticks. No. Human rights are there now to protect the dignity of a child. So parents, teachers in schools, we are calling you parents for a reason. We are entrusting our children in your hands for those hours that they are in school. That is key. When you are discipline with the law in mind. Don't break the law. But one component also, when these children are misbehaving like that, we saw the video, you're speaking in Lozi, I saw the translation. You can't do anything. In fact, you were pointing at a teacher. Uzaona, timakumana wakabwata. Telling the teacher, iwe nkalazi. Bwela, ngaufuna, bwela unimenyi. Bwana, my assessment is that boy is on drugs. Because he had a first down. He was in an office. No one was sweating except him. He was sweating profusely. Throughout the video, he's busy wiping. Bwana, we are not kids. Those are drugs. That boy is on drugs. And that's a downside also. The disadvantage of these human rights that we've brought. Where now we are pampering kids instead of disciplining them. A child you pamper today will temper with your peace tomorrow. A child you pamper today. The scripture says, spare the rod and spoil the child. And that's a challenge in our generation. We are sparing the rod and indirectly spoiling the child. No wonder we have softies as children today who cry anyhow, who can't handle pressure, because we are raising like Nkukuza alone. We are raising them like Nkokosha alone, who cannot be disciplined. How does a child speak to it? In our days, Bwana, you point at a teacher. I don't know whether you come out alive. No. And that's one aspect I am concerned with, because we respect the laws and we don't want our children to be beaten. But also, remember what I said also yesterday and the other day, where your rights end is where another begin. These teachers have a right not to be humiliated. No, they have a right not to be humiliated. That is humiliation A 15-year-old telling a teacher, Wenkalazi, okay, ngofuna bwela unimenye. Bwela, threatening, including the head teacher. One of them wanted to walk out. He says, sit down there. 15-year-old telling a parent, sit down there, and we are clapping. And that's why I think teaching is not my calling.
And now they've been arrested. And now we have to follow the laws and whatnot, and now then been arrested. What sort of rehabilitation or restorative system is needed for this child also? What role can parents also begin to play?
No, as parents, we have failed this generation, and I'll say that with a sad heart. As parents, we have failed this generation. We are not disciplining these children. We are letting them loose. We are allowing them to do whatever they want to do. They are drinking. They are abusing drugs. This morning, I was listening to a report that Kennedy Gondwe has done for the BBC on mental health challenge. You know, very good report, Kennedy, on the mental health challenges in this country, and how that he found out, you know, through his that story, a lot of these children are abusing cocaine, heroin, cannabis. He says, go to Chainama. He interviewed someone from there in his report. It's not madness that is taking people to Chainama. A number of them, it is substance abuse, substance disorder, as a term he called it. And these kids are in our homes and yet abusing these drugs. We are weak parents. Our parents of yesterday, Bwana, even you reach home after they've reached home, was that Jansima? Sungadi. Wherever you are, you advise yourself, I need to run before my father reaches. But today, it's your father opening the door for you.
Is there such a thing as curfew these days? Because like what you're saying, for some of us, you find that you tell you must be, by 18 hours, you must have bathed, you must be on the table, you must be studying before he even arrives. And if he arrives, you must be the one to open the door for him, take off his shoes. It was a norm. It's like the same way you have these members of parliament when the president arrives at the airport, you see them lining up, ready to greet the president. That's how it was.
Exactly. Now it's a different story. Issues of curfew that you for. Do you have curfew? Which curfew? I explain to Bali. You know, that's what they say. I explain to Bali. No, Bali understands.
Queen.
You know, Queen alipo.
Sometimes the Queen or the Balis are the ones who would actually even tell you to go out.
Yeah,
you know,
leave a little.
Yeah.
You know?
Others even go to drink with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Or they would actually be drinking at home.
They even send him go big. You know. You know, now
I heard someone saying that that's their way when they're drinking together with their children. That's the way of bonding, and that I'd rather my child is drinking with me. That way I can observe them.
You are spoiling this generation, and one day we will lament. One day, this generation of parents will lament, where you have to plead with your child. Eat. If you don't eat, I'll not take you to the mall. Bwana! If you're by the Twitter. You are playing with your friends. Your sibling will just come. Paul, Love. You even know what that Love.
Of that lady.
Love. You even know that you delay any second. Your friends have started, and when they are done, Bwana, you are on self-induced fasting.
You will not be given any other food.
Nothing. But today we plead with our children. Please eat. Okay, I'll buy you a toy. Okay, please eat. I'll take you to the mall. Parents of today, what's wrong with us? What's wrong with us? Look at what we are raising now. 15-year-old that is showering insults on his parents. Those teachers are his parents. And we are clapping that the teachers have been arrested. It's a sorry sight, and only time will tell. Kitambo says this generation is spoiled. That boy is on drugs. Believe me, this situation has to be well balanced. And unfortunately, the police are just looking at one side of the rights of a child. They are forgetting that these teachers equally have rights. So, please, Trayo Matanga says some laws are spoilers. They are not good laws. We like imitating those from the West. these kids are spoiled because of some of these laws. Exactly. The issues of human rights, has had a lot of effects on the way we raise our children today. John Mark, your child can go and report you to a police station for beating your child. Your own child. Oh, daddy beat me. What? You even arrested for beating your own child.
Reynolds says child right issues have also contributed to some of these problems. The Bible is straightforward about what we should do. Do we obey it? It's a question there.
Remember that there's a man called George Bester. I don't know if you remember that story. I think from some 6-7 years ago, the child failed an exam, and he was, the wife was fuming, where he was slapping the boy, beating the boy, slapping, and the wife was pleading, muleke. So this is the second time I'm paying, and you're failing. And parents condemned that man for beating his child, meaning be clapping for your children when they fail. We can do better as parents of today, honestly speaking, and that story really breaks my heart for me, especially that it has a long-term effect in terms of how we raise our children. Otherwise, very unfortunate, and I feel bad for the teachers, really, because now what we're simply saying is a child can say anything to the parent, to the teachers,
who are his second parents.
Yes, and they'll be afraid to do anything. Can insult. They will be afraid to do anything. Why? Because the issue is that you're afraid of what the laws will do to you. So quite unfortunate, if you are to ask me. So that's the story in the tabloids this morning. In the interest of time, let's look at of course, one of the stories also you see in real times, Petaoke teen pregnancies worry authorities. Yes, why can't we have teen pregnancies when we can't even control our children?
Wow. So it starts from there. Yeah. The foundation is wrong.
John Marks talked about curfew. Do they have curfew today? They don't have curfew, so why can't they get pregnant when they don't have curfew? They can leave home anytime, come home. Those days...
Sleep out.
Yeah. Those days, if you want to do cantankerous activities, you leave home dressed, decently. Then bag wa fakamo sana. Now mama chuka hapa nyumba dressed like that.
Mwanzo bisako.
Mwanzo bisa kudala, but now mwenda kuti enda kumzanga. Bwana time bwanja mamina mamkonda funsa nizabwera. She even leaves.
You spoke into how even a long time when they see a friend who is shady, vampishila chepado. Yeah. But now it's different.
Very different now, and this generation, we have to really be serious about these issues if we are to protect this generation. Like I said, a child you pamper today will temper with your peace tomorrow. A child you don't discipline today, a child you don't discipline today will be disciplined by authorities tomorrow. And you know how the authorities, the law will discipline the child. If you don't discipline your child at home. They say charity begins from home. Parents, we are too busy. We are chasing ichola tata. We are chasing the money at the expense of our children. We think provision is the only good thing to do as a parent. I've emphasized as a matter of emphasis. What you leave for your children is not as important as what you leave. What you leave for your children is not as important as what you leave in your children. If you can, leave things for them. But please don't forget to leave things in them. Values, principles. Remember what the scripture says. Train up a child in the way he should grow. When he grows, he will not depart. Meaning values are there. That's why I go to university. There are certain students that are still disciplined, even in university, despite what's happening. I was working on the car somewhere, there's a boarding house, and authorities really need to pay attention. I'm mentioning this so that you know. Intercity, right opposite Zika's. There's some boarding houses there. John Mark, when you go there, stand for even just 10 minutes. if you're very spiritual like the way you are, afterwards
Wow.
you have to go and cleanse your eyes.
Oh, wow. Because of what you will see.
Because of what you see. I was asking the guys there at the workshop, like, bwana pano, tima zizimira chabe, because mama pita vida, wapita chabe, you know. I feel for the lecturers.
It's the same in places that houses boarding houses. I mean, we see this all the time.
But these children have parents, have guardians, who are not doing what they ought to do. You are busy, leave home at 7, come at 19 hours, you'll be shocked what your child is doing during the day. Because you think because you've provided DSTV, they're able to watch Prime TV, they're able to, watch Netflix. You think that you're a good parent. You're able to provide 4 meals in a day. You're able to take them for holidays in Siavonga, Zanzibar, Dubai. You think you're a good parent. That is not the only component of being a good parent. So please, let's balance that aspect. Let's close off with the Money Daily. I think Daybreak today has been more social than anything.
Absolutely.
We love it like that.
The viewers loved it.
HEA warns universities over data compliance, sanctions loom. Higher Education Authority says the transformation of higher education is key to achieving Zambia's ambitious goal of doubling its economy. And LCC allocates 19.6 million kwacha towards infrastructure development in Mandevu constituency. Chipata Council records rise in food handler certificates. These are the stories in the tabloids this morning.
All right, let's go straight to story number 1 by Jackson Wansa, and then we'll be able to do some giveaways for Blue Band and conclude on the other side.
Ichinkalipe sana. Chinkalipe ne chakushikira omwaiche wandikulya kumushi. Amareji yonse yali kuno. Abana bonse bali kuno. Nomba bashikire musango nshu umuntu kushika fe by force. Abana bako bonse bali kuno babula omuntu bashika. Echo tulefu abatwebeko bwino ifana chitupapusha. Mwe bantu bakwalesa buno bushiku bashika shanyu umuntu buno bushiku. Fishi babutukire efyo. Fishi bapulene pa mumbiri wa mwaiche wandi fishi bapulana po kanshi. Apa pali pulani namona nomba pali pulani yo bapulene. Ele fana chimona bali company bengi abepe omwaiche wandi. Abana bali 6 yo washa pano. Lero tule mfama Maria shaya abufi. Atitakwata n'abana mwana umo. Fishi fyo baipa ilo mwaiche wandi company so. Twachima pano ati tule ya kupolisi tuye tushimike ya shida kwa batu muntu nabashika. Twabwela la panshira. Ati na pesa abeni pano panganda twafika pano panganda tapali abeni beshire. Banje bati tapachi bomweni wishire pano. Esi nkalipe ine mwe bantu bakwalesa. Twafweni mwe buteko. Ngana abashiko mwaicho wandi ndela nda bamushikule. Bamushikule bamuweshe kuno kuli abana bakwe. Bemo no muntu atupantushire landa pano bale mbona ine nimfwa. Nine bepe na abana banje aba. Bembele shatupantushire landa. Pero ale imakuno mwaiche wandi ashire ine panganda. Ewanji ta ine okumfumya ukaomatinji se pano panganda. Lero bampoko mwaiche wandi ine okunshira abana batinde chula na abana. Mwabuteko na papata. Mwaiche wandi abamulire na abafula. Bama babatufyele bonse bali fokale. Bali batamfishe kumushikulya. Echarengele bese kuno eleni. Eleni alirambia tubekanshikira kumushi. Bantu batutamfishe kumushi. Mwa president mwe bantu. Baturuire ko balete bakayeshikula uyo muntu ngana abashika. Babekate bashikula umuntu. Bashiko kali kuno bashikire shimuntu
All right, we go straight to the giveaways for Blue Band, and you do well to take note that the same jurisdiction or rules that we put yesterday still apply today as well. So please do the needful by, of course, sending in your messages on Facebook. The first individuals to be able to have to send the messages are the ones that are going to, of course, be the winners for today. We'll just switch up the questions slightly so that we don't have the same questions as of yesterday or just as yesterday. And then also a quick reminder that we are not going to have the same people who won previously to win again. I think for the sake of at least trying by all means to spread it out. There's also Blue Band spread, so we're trying to spread it out like the Blue Band product also entails. for today. Yesterday we were talking about omega-3 and 6, which essential fats are found in omega in which essential fats are found in Blue Band. There's omega-3 and 6, but today we'll switch it up and of course just ask basic questions as always. Of course, please take note that you have to answer the question in full, not just one particular answer. If it's half, you're not going to be able to get the product. So you pay attention to what I'll just say very quickly. I'll mention the question and the answer. Yes, that's simple. The question and the answer. We want to ensure that we make you not just enjoy the conversation, but enjoy your breakfast tomorrow morning. So name any Blue Band product. You know, there is original, there is low fat, there is cocoa, there is vanilla. Original, low fat, cocoa, and vanilla. I'll ask 3 questions. The third question Naomi will pick from her end, whichever she feels is as easy as possible. But for me, just I want to find out if you know the names of the Blue Band product. There's Blue Band original, low fat, cocoa, vanilla. There are 4. Original, low fat, cocoa, vanilla. You have to mention all of them for that particular question. Secondly, what are 2 ways you can use Blue Band? The 2 ways you can use Blue Band, there's cooking, baking. I'm even going to give you an extra. So there's cooking, there's baking, there's spreading on bread. So cooking, baking, spreading on bread, and of course that way you could be able to win yourself a Blue Band product. It's right there on the table right now. I know that directors might show you here and there. Naomi, your choice.
Absolutely. What does Blue Band help families achieve? What does Blue Band help families achieve? Healthy and happy kids, as well as better meal times. Very, very easy questions that we do give out with answers. What can be better than that? So what does Blue Band help families achieve? Blue Band help families achieve healthy as well as happy kids, and of course better meal time. So jump in the comment section very fast, and of course let us know the answers to the questions that we are giving out, we're asking this morning, that are by the way coming with answers. So that is very, very easy. We love to make you winners this particular morning. So go ahead and type with quick fingers in the comment section. Give us the answers to the questions we are asking this particular morning. And by the way, of course, people are coming to pick their goodies courtesy of Blue Band. You may as well want to do that. For those of you who have been able to win, come to our Prime Television studios and pick up your goodies courtesy of the Blue Band brand. So this morning, get to the comment sections and of course section and let us know the answers to the questions that we are asking with regards Blue Band. Very easy, John Mark.
Very, very easy.